Hello, welcome back to my channel. So, are we in a top 4 race? I see that floating around now. Well, tell me what you guys think before, but I'll be honest, it's an answer of, it's a contradicting answer here that I'm about to give you guys. Yes and no, depending on what we do in January right now. So, I think we are in a top 4 race if we keep the same players that we have right now and don't make any additions. I think we'll be in a top 4 race. If we make the signings that I'm about to talk about here, then I think we'll be comfortably top 4. So, let's talk about the signings here. Let me show you my screen. I'm not going to talk about this for too long, but I am going to bring up the tactical pad in just a moment. And just for reference here, we are only 4 points off of top 4. We should be comfortably top 4, I know, but this is where we are at. So, the signings that are rumored are a centre back, a midfielder, to be fair, it's never said that it's a defensive midfielder specifically, and a striker or another midfielder is what I see floating around. Personally, I think it will be a striker. I can see potentially an attacking midfielder to come in and play false 9. I don't think that will happen. That is what people seem to think might happen. I don't know. I don't agree with you there, but I think it will be a striker. So, if we get, just let's focus on the profiles, not the names, the profile. A centre back like Lucas Klosterman, a defensive midfielder like Zubimendi, and a striker like Liam Delap. These 3 players, yeah, that centre back, right back hybrids. I mean, it's 1-for-1 Akanji, maybe less quality, but it's 1-for-1 Akanji profile. So you can plug him in for Akanji. If Diaz goes injured again, okay, Akanji goes down here. Diaz is not injured. Let's say Akanji is injured. Okay, he plays. Akanji maybe needs some rest against a weaker team. Or maybe Ake is injured and Stones is not available. So Gvardiol has to play left back. Again, you can just rotate so much more with this back 4. And the reason why we had so many injuries in the first half of the season is because we could not rotate. We just had players playing way more minutes than they expected to play, which led to them getting injuries, unfortunately. Led to them just stockpiling these injuries, yeah? If we have more rotation, that will not happen. A defensive midfielder can rest Kovacic. Kovacic can go play as an 8, can maybe play as a double pivot. Again, gives us more rotation. Grealish is going to rotate with De Bruyne, I reckon. I think he'll be in midfield from now on. Rico Lewis, he'll be the starting 8, I believe. I think he'll be our 8 from now on. Rotating with Gundogan and Silva, maybe. Maybe rotating with Kovacic as well. Maybe sometimes playing as right wing even. Let's think about that. And then I think Foden is going to be back on that right wing area. He's going to rotate with Doku. Maybe he'll play in the 10 sometimes or in the 8. But I think he'll be mainly right wing. Rotating with Doku, Savio. And when Oscar Bob is back, Oscar Bob, he'll have to ease into the game again. So I think we'll be a lot more comfortable, player for player, if we do get these signings. Again, that is an if. We need to get those signings first. Just straight up, if we get those players, we are comfortably top 4. I don't think there's any race going on. I'm not worried about Newcastle or Chelsea or Nottingham Forest at that point. I think we'll get top 4 if that happens. And I do believe that Nottingham Forest may drop off. I'll get back to that later. And I think the goal should be top 4 FA Cup. I'm not saying I'm happy with that, by the way. I'm just saying, after the first half of the season, that's what we need to focus on. I want to win the title, of course. I'm not happy with this season. But I'm just telling you what is realistic right now. Because Pep absolutely flopped the first half of the season here. Now, if we don't get these signings in, which is possible, the board is giving us nothing to feed off of. Again, maybe it's like Bernardo Silva, right? Where it's just announced one day, oh, this player signed. It's like, chilling. And then it's hype in it. Maybe they'll just announce like 3 players all on one day. Randomly, we don't know. Maybe they will not announce anyone because we don't sign anyone. Whichever the case, it's depression for us. Or well, that would be the pressure for us. We're still depressed even if they sign players because we're shit right now. None of them are going to play against West Ham, by the way. None of them are going to be ready yet. If we don't make those signings, and we need to make them quickly as well, I think. I think we will be dragged down to a title race. And I talked about Nottingham Forest earlier, potentially dropping off. I do think a few of those players maybe bought away, may want to leave to a bigger club. I think it's going to be difficult for Nottingham Forest. Even if none of their players leave, there's going to be a sense of satisfaction already in their ranks because a lot of them will have never been that high up. And they'll just be happy to say, you know what, we're here. We have had a good season so far. It is difficult for these clubs to motivate themselves for a full season, especially for these smaller clubs which are not used to this pressure. So will Nottingham Forest drop off? I'm not saying they will, but I say there is a potential for them to drop off. Newcastle United, will they outcompete Man City in the second half of the season? I don't think so. Chelsea then. What about Chelsea? Well, they're dropping off right now. Is that just a short blip? Or will they continue that for? I think they're very lucky here with when New Year came, because for the players it is a mental reset. I know there's no break, but it is a mental reset for the players to just get that New Year in, have that New Year party and all of that. So maybe it does make these players do better again for Chelsea. Whatever the case, in my opinion, Man City should not be dragged down to a top 4 race. Get the signings in, make it comfortable for themselves. Win, 14 games out of the next 19 in the Premier League. 14 wins in the next 19. We are never in a top 4 race if we do that. But we have to do it. For that we need players. So you guys tell me what you think. It's been a lot of the same stuff that I'm talking about again, but everything is a bit mundane right now, I suppose, at Man City. It's all the same right now at our club. Tell me, how likely do you think it is, by the way, that we don't finish in top 4? What do we do if we don't finish top 4? Do we sack Pep? What if we finish 5th, but we win the FA Cup and the Champions League? That's also an interesting conversation to be had. I think, finish 5th, but win Champions League and win FA Cup, I will take that. I will take that. I can't lie. So, again, conversations to be had here. Maybe we can bin off the league and focus on these 2 competitions, but that's risky. Because then finish, let's say, 5th and win only the FA Cup. Well, suddenly you don't have Champions League footballs. And you can't hope on 5th, by the way, because it depends on nationwide performances. Belgium is currently very high up. If Belgium continues to do well, maybe Belgium will get the actual spot. And Germany or Spain, they always seem to win trophies. Italy as well is very good right now. So you can't bank on that 5th spot, I think. You have to aim for that top 4. I think top 4 is necessary. Again, here is my stance on it. And you guys tell me if I'm wrong or not. Even if we finish outside of the top 5, if we win the Champions League and FA Cup, it is fine. And no, the Champions League alone is not enough. If we finish in top 4 and we win the Champions League, that is enough. But if we finish outside of top 4, Champions League is not enough. FA Cup and Champions League outside of top 4, I will take that. I'm not sure where you guys are at with that. I just want trophies. And 2 trophies, assuming Arsenal doesn't win anything this season, will take us above Arsenal trophy cabinet-wise. Because Arsenal has 30 trophies, 31 if you count the Intercity Spheres Cup, which is a bit delirious. Man City has 29 major trophies. So that doesn't count the Community Shield, by the way, because that is not a real trophy, it's like a charity game. Which is why it's dumb when you compare that to Super Cups in other countries, because Super Cups in other countries aren't charity games. This has nothing to do anymore with top 4 race, so I'm waffling at this point. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, I suppose. I'm not really sure what to say here. I really want to tell you guys here, with chest, we will finish top 4 no matter what. I do believe that if we get those signings, but without those signings, I do think we can be dragged down into that race. Not sure what else I can say, so like and subscribe, help the channel out a ton. We're trying to reach 1000 by the end of the season. That is a very tall order, I am aware, but that is the goal that Dasilt has set up for us here. So go check out my watch alongs, I suppose, if you are into that. Go check out some of my other content, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.